What I'm doing here is I'm cutting the fat out of a brisket. We're gonna make a delicious stir fry here in a little bit on the grill. I'm gonna make some fried rice, like stir fry. It's gonna be delicious. And then afterwards, we're gonna render all this fat that I'm cutting out of this nice big brisket, and we're gonna make our own oil to cook with. So that way we have delicious cooking oil. And if you look at like suet on the shelf, it's pretty expensive. So we paid like $8 a pound for this brisket. Now brisket is as you can see, is definitely a fatty portion, and this is a big brisket. So I'm just simply going through, I'm separating the different muscle channels, so that way we get this finished product right here. This is what we want. This is perfect right here. Look at that marbling, so full of fat. When you cook this up, it's just gonna be so tender and delicious. And this is one reason why brisket has like swept the nation at different like Texas Roadhouse and places like that for barbecue, because this makes delicious barbecue when it's slow cooked. And we save a lot of money by just buying a big chunk of meat and then cutting it down ourselves. So this is one thing that you can do. It's simple. You just follow the muscle structure and you cut off the fattier parts. If you get a little bit of meat into it, don't worry too much. But when you start seeing meat, curve and go another direction. And try to keep all the meat with the meat, keep the muscles with the muscles, and just cut those big fat chunks out of the center.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. And just keep continuing on, getting that nice muscle out of the fat. Now, when we get to the point where we're actually cutting these muscles, though, if you don't know much about meat, the grain is really everything when it comes to making a delicious steak. So like this right here, you can see that the muscle structure, you see we got this fascia here, this blue. This muscle goes long ways like this. So that's the direction of the grain. It travels like this. So a piece like this is across the grain. And you can see how the fibers, see here how the fibers are long? You see here the fibers are all short. And that's because it's going the opposite direction. So this is the direction you want to always cut your steaks. Just like when we look at a piece like this, we don't want to cut it this way. That's going to give us long, stringy pieces that are hard to chew. We want to take this and we want to cut it this way, because what that's going to do is make smaller little pieces. So when we bite into it this way, those pieces will break apart and be really easy to chew. And the easier it is to chew, the easier it is to digest. And the easier it is to digest, the more nutrients you're getting out of it. That's why ground beef is actually a really good thing to eat if you're eating your meat for your protein, because it's ground up. It makes it so much easier to digest and readily available for the body.
And usually ground meat is made up of a bunch of different parts of the animal, so you're not only always just eating flesh, you're getting more nutrients from possibly organs and other parts of the meat.
And this is the brisket. So the brisket produces really delicious fat, so, with how marbly it is and the muscle there. So it will actually be really good when we render this beef fat out. Different fats in different areas of the body have different flavors. Organ fat or like heart fat, those are all going to have different flavors than say like the muscle fat right here. So we want to remove, see this fascia? That's not, this right here is not fat. This is fascia. And it kind of like glues your muscles together. This is when you get like a sore back and everything, or like a sore muscle. Typically it's actually the fascia that's getting like stuck and bound. And so a massage therapist will go in there, break up this fascia, break it up. Yeah, this cow had some stiff muscles. You gotta rub the fascia out. No, but we can just tear it off.
So what do you do with it when you tear it off? Are you going to use it for anything?
No, so the fascia, you can use this like when you're making your broth, things like that. This is really good for that, because this has like the things that are good for your joints and your muscles in it. So It's just like, look how tight. There we go. Finally got it off. See, it's strong. This is what they'll make like bow strings out of and things like that. The fascia, because once that dries, you know, a long piece, not a skinny piece like that. You can imagine a bow, boom, nice and strong.
All right.
All right, let's get to
Anything
it.
else?
Yes. Make sure you hit that like, share this with a friend who you know will enjoy it, and the subscribe with the bell notification so you don't miss a single video, because we're always making great content, uploading pretty much every day. We haven't missed very many days at all. So every day you're getting a new thing if you hit that bell. If you don't hit the bell, well, you didn't complete the spell. And you're not going to see all the videos that when they pop up. So hit the bell. And we'll see you in the next one, because the next one coming up is us cooking this brisket into a delicious dinner over the fire.